Hi guys, so I'm gonna go into full detail about the 4-minute video I actually made um in um in November. Um I basically have this. So basically if I have this right here, when I press this button, it would let me just turn off everything. Alexa, turn off display. Alexa, turn off ATEM. So you see right here. So everything's off except for that, which is my drawing tablet, which isn't controlled by any smart plug. So basically, if you just press this right here, the ATEMs turn on, and then the TV turns on. And it defaults to Apple TV since since the reason it defaults to Apple TV because it used to default to my Mac, but I combined Apple TV on the ATEM with my DVD player. So basically, I usually use Apple TV here, and so since I had it default there, I can easily change that the desk over there. So that just turns on that. So this one turns turn on the lights, and it turns off the lights. So like that. So, and I have this right next to my bed because of it's easier to use this instead of the companion software. So I'm going to turn those back on. So let me show you this one first. So if we press switch, it switches the ATEM over here to input 1 and that one to input 4. So we get the switch, and we can then use this controller by pressing the button by double tapping this button 4 times to go to the switch, and then we can play Switch games on the TV, and so there's that. So now let me just show you this one. So if we press DVD player, it just looks like a black screen. Yes, because that's it. But what makes it good is if we press the Blu-ray button, and so it goes to here. So this, when we press this, the power button, it turns on the Blu-ray player. I just moved this out of the way, and I just usually start that there. But see, the Blu-ray player is on, and as you see, it's there. So going back to here, you can just move this, go here, eject. It ejects it. If we go here, it returns it. This is the sub button, so it does the captions. Then if we basically press this, it's previous, rewind, up, down, left, right, fast forward, next, and then the disc menu. I can't do that because of the so it plays anime. So, and this is the play, pause, and down, stop, home. So if we go here, this is all the buttons. So there's that. I go to press power. And the DVD player's off. So if we press home, we go here. This one is for controlling my TV because I was using a sofa baton, but I thought if I have this right here, I don't need a sofa baton because this is basically universal remote by itself because I have an IR blaster that does the stuff. So I'll explain that later in the video. So basically the power, input, settings, home, up, down, left, right, volume down, volume up, back, and exit. And then there's a home button, which is for going back. So that's showing that. And since we're on 6, if you press the Apple TV, which always boots to, I can go back to the Apple TV if necessary. And this is the only remote I use because of that's an actual remote. Because of I mainly use Apple TV. And then PC does nothing right now, so well, it doesn't until I press game server. If I press game server, that computer boots over there. And since that computer boots, we go over here, press PC. We get the MSI logo, and the computer boots. And since we have this right here, this has my virtual machine stuff, so if I need to do some virtual machine loading, I can do it from that monitor over there. But for here, it's nothing but that. So this is what this looks like over here, because this is connected to a USB extender over Ethernet that goes around the room to over there to my USB selector. So it switches my keyboard and mouse. So if I need a mouse and keyboard, I can just take that keyboard and mouse, put it onto a lap dock, and then sit in my bed and use the keyboard and mouse. But this is mainly used for Steam in-home streaming, or basically what's that called? Steam Big Picture. So I have one that's light. So this light one does the same exact thing as the one on that is on the Mac side, but it is on the PC, and it's running on a batch script that's been converted to an exe. Then there's this one, which is restart. It restarts the computer, shuts down, of course, and then the TV gameplay, which allows me to, which when I press it, it launches Steam in Big Picture mode. Well, suppose at least. There you go. Launches Steam in Big Picture mode. And so it has my games in full screen. And so in order to exit out of it, in order to use that, I use my controller that's here by switching it to one over here, which is the Windows controller. Allow me to use it there. And I can shut down Steam there and then restart. So if I restart, it restarts the computer to not have, because I don't have Steam boot on startup, because I can control it from actual there. So from here, everything is running again. So I'm going to show you something that I made. So while the Steam Stream Deck software boot. So there you go. So if I press sleep, this puts this to sleep, and then it switches the keyboard switcher to back to the Mac, since the Mac runs 24/7 since it's low power. It literally just switches back to the Mac. And so it puts the Stream Deck over there to sleep. So if I switch to PC, it basically just switches that back to PC, but it would basically have that there. So if I press shut down, this does the same exact thing as sleep, but it shuts down the computer and switches it back. So my controls for here are perfectly fine. So this button is to turn on the ATEMs and the This button here is for turning on the ATEMs over here. And also, there's going to be a third one. I'm just waiting for it to come in the mail. Because it's going to go right where the switch is at, the Ethernet, the HMI switch. So, and then it's going to be plugged in to the smart plug. So it's all going to be controllable. And I already have an Ethernet cable ran for it. So, and if you press this, it turns off the TV and it turns off the ATEMs. And it puts the Stream Deck to sleep. So if I'm ready for bed, I can just turn it off there. Or if I need to get over there, I can basically turn it on over there. But there's that. That's basically this side of the setup. Equally as good. And I have a DVD player here. It's easily reachable because normally if I'm watching a DVD, for example, I'm just rewatching Problem Children Come From Another World, Aren't They? And so I usually have the DVD case right next to the DVD player, so I don't have to get up and get the next disc. And if I'm watching a series, for example, this one is Kitty Grade, and I have that's 8 disc. I put all 8 discs right on top of here, and I have a DVD player right here just so. Next one, put it there, because when I usually watch series, I binge them. And so, and normally, I actually, and this is stuff, I usually have easy access for the stuff here, so I'm probably just gonna, and so normally, I have DVDs in front of DVDs, but so I can just take them off and then look for the one I want to watch. But normally, I don't really. I usually just watch Plex, but I have the DVDs here just in case I want to pull out a DVD. And then I have this fan to cool down the room. But I have this, I'm still going on this side. I have this stripper that plugs into my UPS. So this allows me to also have this this DVD player here just in case I need to, just in case there's no internet or power's out. So if the internet is out, if the internet's out, I can literally just watch DVDs. The ATEM is still controllable with Companion since it runs on the network, and that is hooked up to a network switch over there. I can literally just, switch still with the Stream Deck. The only downside is, well, it wouldn't have the echo, so I would have to, I would have this echo because it works without internet as long as it hasn't been unplugged. So, yeah. But this little this HDMI adapter, this short cable goes to here, which goes to a long cable, which goes to a stripper. The stripper then goes around here to the ATEM port number 6, or which is port number 3 on that ATEM. And then the other thing that's there is my DVD player plug and my light plug for control there. And so normally I don't have both of these lights on at once. I have a separate scene just for to turn these ones off by themselves and to turn this one on by itself. And so so I can have just either this light on if I want small lights on, or this light on if I need brighter lights, or all 3 of them on. So going this way, this is the Apple TV I have that I had hooked up to a splitter So I had that hooked up to one of those things, which split out the signal to the ATEM and my TV. But I basically found out that having everything hooked up to like the ATEM door directly, so the issue I was having is every time I turned on the ATEM, the screen would actually wig out on the TV and freeze. So I moved everything from the switch, from the splitter onto here, and then I had a HDMI extender for the Blu-ray player, but I couldn't um um I ran out of Ethernet cables, so I ended up using the actual the stripper and putting it over there to put into the ATEM. So going to the ATEM itself, this port, which is the output port, this is going to the input 4 on the ATEM Mini Pro. This yellow port, which is input 4, will be going to a ATEM that's going to be right here. It's just getting ordered, but it's going to go to where this cable's at, because this cable is the yellow cable, and this will be input this will be input 7, 8, 9. This is the cable that's right here, and this is the cable that's right here, and this is for a computer that's under the desk behind there with a fan. Then input number 6, input number 6, because this is number 7. Number 6 is the Blu-ray player that goes around the room to here, to the stripper, to there. Number 5 is the Apple TV, and number 4 is goes to the Nintendo Switch over here. And I have an extra long HDMI cable. Could probably use a shorter one, knowing where it's at now. But this long HDMI cable is going around here, over here, into the rack shelf. So going on over to this ATEM. So this ATEM has my mic input that's coming from. It's coming from a mic input into. So the mic input of here is coming from the output, the line out, which is number 3 of the 1898, which is then listening to input 1, which is my Electro Voice RE20, and then my so basically to get audio from the ATEM Mini Pro, since it doesn't have a headphone jack, the monitor has a headphone jack, and so a 1/8 inch TRS cable to TS, stereo to mono, dual mono, so it's split up onto separate channels, so it gets stereo in turn, and then that's hooked up to there. I have 2 pairs of headphones, the Audio-Technica and Beyerdynamics. The Beyerdynamic usually goes right there. Audio-Technica usually goes there. And there's that. Input number 1 on here is this camera. And so I had 2 cameras. Input 1 was the face camera. Input 2 was the overhead. Something fell. Oh, flash drive. So input 1 was basically the face camera, but I ended up getting rid of that because of my mic was actually blocking the actual camera. I had the mic over in the corner over there, but I decided to put it here because one, it's out of view, but I can also, it is technically in view if I were to hold it. If I were to hold this right here. And so, before I finish with that, I'll tell you what these are for. This one is for a custom hyperdeck. So with this, you can, with this going to a HDMI input on an ATEM, I could switch to it, and then use Companion, and then send actually signals to actually there. I'll just show you my Companion setup too while I'm at it. But number 2 is this is number 8. This is number 7. This will hook up to another computer for a hand camera, so I could basically have a wireless camera anywhere in the house without being tethered like with a HoloLens, which didn't get good distance, but this would work. This is for this cable here, number 9, which allows me to hook up an iPad, tablet, or of any kind, or an extra laptop just in case I need to capture someone's computer. I can pipe it into my ATEM with that cable. And then number 2 on this ATEM Mini Pro is my Mac Mini. So, well, technically it's the Mac Mini. So this cable is going into this little splitter, and that splitter is going into this monitor and the ATEM. And this is going into the HDMI input of the Mac. So this mirrors. This is the main display, and this is mirrored on this one when the ATEM is switched like there. So basically, I can use some annotation software and draw on the screen just for some guides and stuff like that. Number 3 is my is this PC right here. It's an i5, it's 32 gigs RAM, 1650, 1 terabyte SSD, which I use for virtual machines, and it's my game server too. So the virtual machines will be used when at this desk when I have a keyboard and mouse, and the gaming machine happens when I'm over here. So dual purpose. And then this ATEM is controlled by USB, and I control it by Companion. So this one's controlled by Companion too, but there's no USB control. I kind of wanted USB to be controlled, but I'm out of USB ports, and that would mean 3 USBs I have to run. So this is connected to my Thunderbolt port on my Mac. This right here next to there is my keyboard and mouse switcher. It has 4 inputs. Input 1 is my Mac. Input 2 is my gaming PC. So just in case I need to do some like keyboard and mouse stuff with like virtual machines, I have access. Number 3 will be the computer that's going to go with this stuff right here that hasn't come in the mail yet. Neither has the ATEM. And number 4 is for the computer that's behind here that you can't see, but it's right there. And that's my video player. This, and in order to control that with the Stream Deck, I'm using Home Assistant and my IR Blaster. And the IR Blaster is an RM4 Mini, and that is used to control that and this for now until the ATEM comes. And I'm going to use Companion for that. Um, then what's on my Mac is the Mac has this display, which is 21.5 inch, which is used for monitoring OBS. This is my multi-view slash program view for the A10 Mini Pro. So this is also a Pro program view too, and multi-view. So that's how those two are hooked up. Is the HDMI from here and here is going into a splitter that's in there that goes to the output port of the A10 Mini, and so whatever shows up on here shows up on there, and vice versa. And I can actually turn off this one, and this one still works, and I can turn off that one, and this one still works. And then for audio cables, I have some ground loop noise isolator right here, just to clean up the audio from actually the microphone. I mean, from the ATEM, my microphone input, because there's a lot of noise on the line, especially when you're running at line level, because this is line, because of have it going through there. And then I have from there, going back there to this monitor, is another one of those things right there that I have for removing noise. The stream, what's this? The switch. So this is getting replaced with a ROG Ally or a Lenovo Legion or something else that's not a Steam Deck, because it needs to run Edge Windows, and I'm gonna run Yuzu or basically something else on there in order to get my Switch games on there in handheld form and still be docked. And then I was gonna do something with the Switch. Then this is a Logitech something keyboard. I don't remember. It was like $100. This was a Jellycomb trackball mouse. I like trackball more than I like regular mouse these actual days. So I have a trackball. I've tried the Logitech one, but it was okay. This one's one of my favorite. It's the Jellycomb. This one comes with Bluetooth. It comes with a Bluetooth. It comes with a dongle and 2 Bluetooth inputs, so you can have up to 3 devices. You can have up to 3 devices with like this too. And this is the stand that has my tips for my drawing pen, and my drawing pen usually sits in here, like so. I have this here for mainly charging my keyboard and mouse. I don't have it hooked up to data. But below here, before I get more into detail over here, so under here, behind where you see the red tape, there is a USB hub there that just provides power to like devices. And then over here, where the computer's at, there's a fan that's on there that blows air on there. That gets it so it stays cool. And then my then the box here has a USB hub, and the other extender part that's in there. Below there are smart plugs and also other cables. My subwoofer, which is an 8-inch subwoofer from PreSonus. It's an Aris 8-inch compact sub. And these are Aris 5s XTs, and these are another Aris 5 XTs. This is just a little wrist rest. And let's see. Behind the UPS is my HDMI, so is my Ethernet switch with a whole bunch of Ethernet cables going behind there. This is just like didn't cable manage those well, but that's because of it's usually just the cables are a little bit short. This is the MIDI controller I use. I had a 49 key one, but I've updated that to a smaller keyboard, and so it can fit on my desk. Because this desk was supposed to come with a tray, and I got that keyboard just to use with the tray, but the tray was kind of broken when I got it. And so right now, just with the Mac running and this monitor on, draws 64 watts. With this computer on and the switch, it draws about 16 watts. So all of this stuff, it draws about 80 watts. Because that's always on. That's always on. And that gets power from USB. That gets power from USB. And the thing in there gets power from USB. And the Mac is always on anyway. And the areas are off, but on a smart plug. So there's that. And this is an MSI 27-inch monitor that I got that had a headphone jack. And the 18i8, which I use for podcasts and stuff like that. And I'm just recording video. And I have an extra port just in case I need to add an extra microphone. So I'll just talk about this Stream Deck first, since it's the least amount interesting one. So with this one is my Stream Deck Plus. So it does a couple things. This one controls the main volume knob. This one controls the knob for OBS. On this computer, because I run OBS, I run OBS on this computer, I run OBS on that computer. And I have OBS linked up so it can be heard through into this OBS through actually the ATEM. And so there's that. I have this button, which is for turning on this computer if I'm sitting right here, and this is basically for when I want to do virtual machine stuff. And then this one turns on OBS and turns off OBS. So if I turn it right, it turns it on by like running a script. And then if I turn it left, it runs a script that literally then that would error out. So I had it bypass error, even though that's pretty bad. But there's that. The power off button is so what the power off button does, so what this power button does, this one turns on this camera, turns on the ATEM, turns on the monitors, and that's about it. This light is the same as the other lights, it just turns off all the lights. Sound turns on my speakers, plus sub. The time machine does a time machine backup for my Mac, and it does it whenever I press it. PC1 basically allows me to switch from PC or from my Mac to my Mac. So if I'm on PC2, I can switch to PC1. And since this is connected to my Mac, I can always switch instead of it basically switching based on that. So I don't have to basically do any fancy programming on on each computer just to switch. So I have this one switching to the Mac. This one switches to the gaming PC / virtual machine host. Number 3 switches to the computer that'll be right there. And number 4 switches to the computer that's down there under the desk. And I used to have a sleep button here, but basically I got rid of it and put it onto the Stream Deck, because I had the Stream Deck here and here, but I found out that I could just use the Stream Deck to like control beside my bed, and then just have everything controllable over there for the ATEM. So for this Stream Deck, I'll do OBS last. So this one is my Mystic page, or my miscellaneous. So for this one, it has Firefox, because if you look on my here, Firefox isn't on here. Normally, the only thing I usually have on here is Terminal, but I can remove that since I have it there. But mainly it's File Finder and Launchpad. So with this one, this is Firefox. This is the calculator I use for calculations. Zoom, when I do a Zoom call, and I basically bring in the ATEM into there, which gives me a total of 7 ports now. But once I add another one, it'll be a total of 9. This one allows me to do this one is ATEM setup software, so I really don't need this on here, but I have it just in case I need to change the IP. This one is for ATEM control that I could bring up on this monitor or that monitor, and then have it have control over the ATEMs that way. But I might just run this on like a tablet or my laptop. Probably I might run this on a Microsoft Surface. That would be actually pretty cool. That might be in another video. Then this is allows me to convert my allows me to make lower thirds into a less sizable format. Then there's ScreenFlow, which I use for capturing when I can't use OBS, or when I'm trying to screen capture without using ATEM either. One of my movie editors, which is iMovie, I also use Final Cut. This one is Parallels that I have for running. It launches up Parallels and a virtual machine, and then it shuts it down when I press it again. So this is mainly for Linux, or if I need to test another virtual machine, because Windows is okay on Parallels, but I'd rather use Windows on workstation, VMware workstation, and so Terminal, OBS, just in case I don't use this button right here, BB Edit, and GarageBand, Focusrite control, Automator. This is for more automation stuff. This is just a document that I usually like to keep up, that automatically downloads the latest version from Blackmagic. This is my editable software this editable page I made. This is for my NAS, so just in case I add more NASs, or if I need to search for NAS, the IP address changes. Activity monitor, disk utility, and system information. So, and this one is main. So I have these just to cover up the screen, just to make sure. There's that. Then I have these ones, which are, this basically reboots the NAS. This does a speed test for me. This does my this allows me to access my video storage. For storage, this allows me to upload YouTube video, YouTube channels I usually visit, miscellaneous. With this one, miscellaneous one, it loads up other YouTube pages that I don't actually that I use occasionally. And then there is Reddit. So if you press it, it brings up all the Reddit pages. And that I actually occasionally use, which is and so it just loads them all up. And then the randomizer allows me to um, just randomly generates a character. So screen sleep puts all the stream decks to sleep. So then when I go to OBS, so OBS, this one is kind of weird. Okay, so most of the stuff is companion based. So stop is just the stop for like companion. So for start, um, starting, start recording and stop recording, start soon, multi-view, and program view. So it turns into a multi-view or a program view. I'll show you that. There's the lower thirds, the face cam, hand cam, annotate, Mac, pip Mac, VM, pip VM, switch, pip switch, DVD player, pip DVD player, and a Apple TV, Apple TV, playback, pip playback, HDMI, and pip HDMI. And so with basically this one, it just plays the lower third. It plays the lower thirds, which is something else custom made. So let me show you. If I power this on, it turns on all the stuff. Turns on the monitors, the ATEMs, and sometimes the ATEMs don't actually get network, so I have to fix that by unplugging them. So we'll go to Mac. So if we basically press multi-view, we get a multi-view like this on the ATEM, so it shows all the available cameras. Camera 2 is off because camera 3 is off because the computer's off. And then if we go back here, we get single program view. So let me just go to the Stream Deck software. So let me just go to my companion buttons first so all of these are my companion buttons. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1 and 2 and 3 are basically just the 1ME 1, 2, and 3 inputs, and then 4 is 1ME on the first ATEM, and 1ME on one and the 1ME on the one first input on there, and then it just doubles them so they switch together. And so I have 7. And I'm gonna have more. So stop air, basically, because I have some on air stuff, and like some like lower thirds I need to stop. So I actually made a button for that I built into all my sources. And then stop this downstream key, which just stops the downstream key. Q1 on and Q1 off. Camera 1. Some of these can be deleted, like the in and out, because I kind of got rid of that one. And so can HCam. But the stuff that is mainly in use is this, this, this. So basically, that, and the program views. And if we go to page 2, this is Mac pip, and this is play and pause. This is play back on and play back off, which allows me to turn it off. And number 3 is power on and power off for those 2 lights, and then I have one for key light, which combines all 3 of them. because there you go. So turns those both off. So if we go to the Stream Deck software, this is where stuff gets interesting. So I have key on, which basically turns on the key lights here, and then which turns on those two lights here that you see here and behind me, and then it basically waits 2 seconds. Then after that, it waits. It does it goes to the camera, which is camera 1, which is that camera. Then after that, it waits. After that, it starts recording. Then it waits 4 seconds, and then after that, it goes to ATEM, which is the source in OBS. And then after that, it then goes to 2-second wait. Then it goes to lower, which is my lower thirds that plays for 9 seconds. There's a 9-second delay on here, 9,000 milliseconds, and then here it turns off the downstream key, which is for the whatchamacallit thing, the lower thirds. Now, once that finishes, it goes to part 2 of the multi-action, which it will then go back to cam 1, and normally I wouldn't just go from part 1 start recording and then to part 2. I would switch in between. So then it would go back to cam 1, wait 2 seconds, ATEM 2 seconds, lower 9 seconds, stop. It stops recording. Then from there, it waits 2 seconds. Then it goes to wait screen. Then it waits 2 seconds. And what you don't see is after this part, you don't see this part. But then it goes to camera 2, which is the max screen that I'm on right now. And then it powers off the key lights, which is the 2 lights here and there. And then there's that. So for this scene, I just have this here. For this scene, I just have it here just so if I need to press it, I can. This one, the multi-view I already showed you. It does, it's a multi-action. It switches between multi-view and program view. This one is the same lower third, but it's just by itself, and it can be actually played on just ATEM, and it can be played on any scene since there's only one scene. Then the face cam. So this one is where it gets a little different. So with this one, it basically playback pause. It turns off the key, so the upstream key. It turns off the droid cam, which is normally on, which is droid cam OBS is what I use for actually capturing from my phone or like any device, and so that would come from my so that would turn off. This is on all the scenes. So those 3 things are on all the scenes. Then cam 1 is on this scene. ATEM is on every scene, and then playback is on every scene. Playback off, and the reason I have playback off at the bottom is because it shows switching at the end. So this one is just for now. So this one is my hand cam. So for a computer running OBS and running DroidCam OBS is going to be with where that cable goes. And so, but the problem is it's hooked up to this switch and there's a latency, so I have to like improvise with latency and just use a switcher to get to like there. And I would probably still be using HDMI because of to get to control the computer. But the only difference thing here is Droid is the hand cam and HDMI 3. HDMI 3 is a button that switches this thing to input. Switches to HDMI 3. I mean, so switches it to the keyboard 3, and it switches to the input of to like inputs 7. The other one will switch to input 8 and input 9, which is HDMI and Apple TV. I mean HDMI and the other one, the playback. So for this one actually does playback, and it's at the bottom. Then it does a hold scene. Then it does this keyboard shortcut. Turns off DroidCam. Turns on bottom right. Turns on cam 2, and then turns on ATEM and playback off. And then for the multi-event action off, goes to the hold screen. Then it goes to wall 2. So this one is wall 1. Wall 1 allows me to switch the wallpaper live with a script, and then it goes to camera 1, which is the face camera. So Mac is just my Mac. It's pretty much just switches to the Mac input with HDMI 1. And then number 2, which is Mac Pip, it's basically same exact thing as Mac, but with this one, forgot to take that out. So I forgot to take one thing out. So because I was having issues with like the application that was made. So yeah. So playback off. So yeah. So this one is playback off. So like with these ones, I didn't actually finish most of these, but basically it's the same exact thing. With this switches to HDMI 2, and this switches to the Nintendo Switch, but they all have something called they all have the PIP ones all have bottom right in there, which is a bottom right means there's a picture in the corner. And then so yeah, so let me get that stuff ready and I'll show you. So I'm giving my armor break because I've been holding this phone for about 54 minutes. And so basically, the Switch one just switches to Switch. All of them are pretty much the same. This one switches to Switch, and this is with picture-in-picture. This is DVD. It switches to the DVD scene, and also it switches. This one switches to DVD scene with basically picture-in-picture. So if we press this, it switches to DVD, and then it switches here. Okay, so. So, and it will have Mac on there too, so it'll switch back to the Mac when actually done. So when we press home, it'll switch back to the Mac. That's just something I have to build in. But so basically, let me show you all of them. So basically, we'll start out with the face cam. Face cam. Okay, I'll try to hold it. So this one, so if we'll just do one at a time, I'll hold it like this time. So if we go face cam, so it goes like this. If we do hand cam, it does nothing right now, but because there's no camera on there. This is what annotate does. But you probably didn't see actually that. Okay, so let me show you what it does. So, as you see the wallpaper, so see, if we press annotate, we get a black screen and we can annotate on there and stuff. So once that finishes, we press annotate ends. It replaces the wallpaper, and then it replaces the wallpaper and it switches to the camera. So now we got a Mac. So this one's pretty simple. Switches to the Mac. And now if we go to pip, I mean, oh yeah, that's wrong one. I keep on. So Mac pip is just picture in picture in the corner. This is VM. It's just this computer turning on, so when regular Windows computer booting, going here. That one just switches the input to the TV, to the computer, and switches the mouse. This one is the same exact thing, but with picture in picture. The Switch, so it sends you to Nintendo Switch. And then switch picture in picture, just sends you to picture in picture. So DVD. So this one is really interesting. So when you press it, it sends you to like DVD. So it also switches profile. So you have the key, the remote control source, and then if you press home, it's gonna take you back to here, and it should take you back to like Mac once I have that set up. DVD picture in picture is the same exact thing, but with picture in picture. The Apple TV, this switches you to the Apple TV. This one is something that took all day to set up, mainly because of I had to modify the computer to mount onto there with a fan on there. So basically, when I press this one, it switches to this computer. It does playback, and it does it with all my current videos. So if I ever need to do stuff, it just shows all my latest videos that I've recorded. And then same thing, but with the picture in picture. And so you get picture in picture. So HDMI is going to be blank because of it is just this cable right here. And then this cable, same thing, but picture in picture. So going back to the Mac now, if we finish looking at the Stream Deck stuff, this is this one, which is really complicated. So basically, it's named 8 mainly because of it's gonna go on input 8, and so basically this one turns playback on. So what you saw, it turns it on, then it does a hold scene, so it's not being seen. It does a hold scene. Then it switches to HDMI 4, which is input number 4, so I can have mouse keyboard control. And then it switches, then it turns on, then it plays, then it turns on playback, which is, for example, right now, just this port right here. And it will be easier if we just use the ATEM because of we wouldn't need that right there. And then it turns off key, turns off Droid Cam, and it switches to Cam 8, which is technically just Cam 7, but with this one right here. And then it does a delay for 2 seconds, and then it turns on the ATEM, and then it basically playback. So it plays it. So the downside is so the only thing that has Droid Cam on is the hand cam setup, and then the picture-in-picture one is the same exact thing, but it just has picture-in-picture in there instead. And then the HDMI camera is pretty much the same, but it just switches to HDMI. And so the only thing is this one has to be put in HDMI 2. This one is Cam 3. So that's how all this is. So if you like more detail than actually this, I can probably go into more, but I can possibly if you need help setting this up, I can probably help you set some of this stuff up. So yeah, thanks for watching, and that's my update. So the only difference is that what this is the only thing. There's a computer is coming this week, and it is gonna be there, but by the time you see actually this video, it should already be here. So same with the ATEM. So thanks for watching. Bye.